Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. My audience was indeed expecting Monster Hunter today, and quite frankly, so was I. But due to circumstances beyond my control, that is not possible today. I suppose anything's technically possible, but is it sensible? No, it's not happening today, I'm sorry. Communications with the controller have been interrupted. Well, that's not a problem, that's fairly normal. One needn't panic. I just haven't touched my controller for about 5 minutes. Now, just to give you all a recap of what I've been doing in Breath of the Wild, I have been looking for things to do that I suppose aren't required within the story, but simultaneously I'm also looking to do quests that haven't been done, which among those, there are indeed, that was a weirdly phrased sentence, among the quests that I have yet to complete, there are some that are categorized as main quests, so I figured, how about we do those first, or if perhaps not do them first, but consider at least prioritizing them. So that's what I'm going to do for now, and I am working on the Captured Memories quest. I did the best that I could in the previous recording to find all of the captured memories on my own, and I was unable to find them all. I think I found 2 on my own that I hadn't already discovered, and now I definitely need to make use of an online guide, which I do have loaded up, which is convenient and pleasing, because I can be assured of the fact that I'll be able to complete this quest in this video and move on to something possibly more enjoyable, I don't know. I'm not saying that this is really unpleasant and monotonous and generally unentertaining, it's just that I think there's potential for something a little more exciting somewhere within this list of quests that I have, not including this one, because that is the last quest. Probably not literally the last quest we're going to do. I'm not seeking to complete this game to 100%, but yeah, I'm not going to be doing this quest for quite some time. I'm going to show you the memory points that I have discovered. I have to go here to actually find them. So this was the one that had me completely stumped in the previous recording. I was very, very close to actually finding it. I just checked online to see where it could be found. I'm just trying to see where I am at the moment. Well, you know what, let's remain focused on what I'm trying to show you all, showcase. Essentially, we've only got 3 places that have yet to be discovered. It is the one I was just showing you before, this one, and indeed this one. Now, I supposed that the structure, or what I think is a structure on the right side there, is actually a shrine. It may not be. I'm going to assume that it is, but it may not be. It's possible that it isn't. I basically used that structure being a shrine to serve as a hint, and I tried to look for possible shrines that I had discovered that would match these surroundings, and I just couldn't find anything. This was all on camera. I haven't done anything off camera. It's, again, like I said, something of a recap. And yeah, really couldn't find it to the best of my ability. I tried and failed, and that's all right. We're going to now make use of a walkthrough. In regards to this, I don't know where this is. I guessed that it might be Hyrule Castle. It could actually be a memory point that I can't reach until I commit to taking on Ganon. I don't know whether or not that's the case, but my first guess as to where this is Hyrule Castle, but obviously taken 100 years ago before the calamity was surrounding it, so I pretty much said that much in the previous recording. We're going to actually find out what the location is once I consult this online walkthrough that I have made mention of. It's apparently cold up here. I am not terribly surprised. I think, are there seasons, or I suppose it's not so much that there are seasons, it might be time of day, because it's night time and it's very high altitude. I suppose it's quite cold. It's obviously fairly hot over that way. Before I lose too much health, I'm going to try and see if I can work this out. So I did see a picture. I think it's at the top of that. Is it that or somewhere else? Let me just look around. Based on the topography, it's at the top, like the very top of a tall mountain. And I did see Yeah, I need to consult this walkthrough again because I thought maybe my memory of what I had seen would make it clear, but my memory is not clear enough. I'm going to guess it's that. It might be that. Who knows? But that would be my first guess before checking the little online walkthrough again. When I say walkthrough, I actually mean it's more of like a visual write-up with pictures and such. It's not like a video walkthrough. I don't do video walkthroughs because, quite frankly, they're not that straight to the point. But anyway. Listen, okay, something that I need to make very clear is that when I sit here trying to work something out on my own, or even with the aid of a walkthrough, I don't particularly need an immediate, answer from someone in the audience. It's just, it sort of ruins the fun. I mean, I get that you get to show that you know where it is, which is not all that impressive because the game's been out for a very long time now, but, I'm just trying to work things out for myself. I don't really need the answer immediately given to me. I mean, I've had issues with that in the past. I understand that you might not realize what sort of experience I'm trying to have here, but it does take the fun out of it a little bit when I don't have to go on an adventure and I instead just go, what does the Twitch chat say? It's not as meaningful, if you understand. But, right. Anyway, so I'm going to have a look and see if I'm right about this. It is not there. Okay, so it's... Oh dear. I wasn't as close as I thought I was. I don't think. No. That's interesting. I was not as close as I thought I was. Is it? Yeah, it's somewhere around here. It's up here, so it was much closer to the castle itself than I thought. To be honest, that does make sense. Let's get rid of this pin. You see, that's so funny because I actually put that pin down when I was quite far from my destination to give me a general direction to go in, I think. Well, no, maybe that was actually one of my first guesses as to where it was. That turned out to be pretty close. It's actually here, and it does make sense based on my observations of that picture in the previous recording. That does definitely make sense. So let's head for that now. Apparently, well, that's new information. I didn't realize that I could put the same stamp down twice. I thought there was a limit of one. I thought literally you could put one stamp of a particular kind and then that was it. Well, the more you know. It's always good to learn new things, I suppose. Now, am I... Oh, I'm all the way over there. I was so thoroughly confused that I was just getting further and further away from the castle, as you can see. I really... I suppose I couldn't see it for the... even though it was right in front of me, I just couldn't see it, so that's alright. We can now home in on the correct position. Once the damn game wants to load, of course. Come now. And we should be able to glide down from this tower. Shouldn't be too far, I don't think. Well, no, it is actually considerably far. There's no way I'm going to get there from this distance. But I suppose... my guess is that this is just too low to the ground, so I think it would be better to use Rivali's Gale from here, and then maybe get to the top of one of these, depending on how much altitude I'm losing. If I'm losing a lot of altitude, maybe I'll go from here to there, so we'll just have to look and see. I would assume that that over there is this mountaintop. Let's just go for... oh, that'd be right. Rivali's Gale is charging. Positively adorable. Positively adorable. Okay. Change of plan. We are warping to this shrine and we are going to proceed from there. There's probably going to be a lot more climbing involved than I first suspected. So... that may be more fun for some people and perhaps a little boring for others. At least I didn't end up changing my armor because it was cold up there, because now I absolutely require this armor to be equipped in order to survive. So, I don't think I can glide across that from where I am here. I don't even remember how to move those things. Oh no, they are actually... They look as if they're made of wood, to be honest. How are you going? How are things, my friend? Trying to remember how to play the game, if you wouldn't mind. Alright, here we go. Doomlink doesn't know how to play Breath of the Wild. This is hilarious. Okay, that was hilarious. I forgot. Listen, I'm relearning the game. I started this Let's Play the day the game came out, okay? We've been going for a while, so I just forgot that Link is physically retarded and can't actually jump very far, so, you know, you forget these things over time. Now, I don't think I can actually move this while I'm on it. That wouldn't make much sense, so I'm assuming I basically have to use them as a small pathway, like so. Oh, but... Oh no, that's what I probably need to do. I need to do a bit of a run and jump. I can't just jog slowly and then get enough of a jump to actually make it across. So something like this. No. I do have to make it very clear that I usually don't struggle this much with basic maneuvering of my character. Can I do a run and jump without fucking gliding? Yes, I can, but I suppose I... There you go. Now I should be able to run and jump this as well. It's just the way you have to position your fingers is slightly awkward, so... Yeah. This is what happens when Rivali's Gale is charging at an awkward time. Can I get much of a run and jump here? Yes, I can. Ugh. It's just fucking painful, isn't it? I mean, who's got the patience for this crap? I certainly don't. Alright, that was engaging. Now we have to go all the way over there. Oh my god. It's alright, it's part of the adventure, isn't it? It's part of the adventure. I bet most people don't realize that I started this Let's Play on the first day of the game fucking coming out. Oh, what a journey it's been. Why is it taking you so long? For the same reason that I needed 2 years break from this game. Which I only concluded... What? In other words, I only returned from my break last week, I think. Very, very clever of you. I suppose I could try to use stasis on you. That doesn't seem to be working at all. I suppose stasis only works on objects rather than enemies. That would be rather imbalanced, wouldn't it? If you could just freeze enemies. Yeah, this is what happens when you've been away for a while. You start to do things that to most people would be thoroughly illogical. How about we try and make use of the glider? I'm going to get up to a high altitude and jump from there. I mean, one would hope that Rivali's Gale will be restored in time for me to actually get to where the hell I want to go. In reasonable time. Rather than having to take the whole journey there manually and then Rivali's Gale is recharged once I finally get there. That would be annoying. Because it sucks, screams Tron. Well. You win the jackpot, my friend. You win the fucking jackpot. Ding, ding, ding. Correct answer. Alright, here's some high altitude. So... Again, our destination's over there. We've got some distance to go. But I should have saved, shouldn't I? I'd say that that will be pretty helpful. I'd say that's a good starting point for some gliding. We can get across this lava field. Or lava lake, possibly would be the more accurate way to describe it. And then we can do some climbing, or maybe not just yet. We might be climbing the rest of the way. We'll see. But I think there's going to be a lot of climbing going on shortly to get to where we want to go. Why is it precisely... Oh, there we go. So the way stamps work is that they don't actually appear on your compass map. We'll just say compass map here. That's a fine way to describe it. Until it's actually, you know, pictured on there. It's not like a stamp, which is an actual waypoint of sorts. Unfortunately. Alright, so it should be up here. What's going on with you? You are a Lizalfos, aren't you? Certainly. And you're rather acrobatic. Oh, what the fuck is going on? How long does that last for? It's 10 times worse than a Dodongo. 10 times worse. I mean, what sort of... It's as if someone took your stats and just maxed them out. That's game design for you. That's the great opus of the Japanese game designers of Zelda. This is what their vast experience, their 30 plus years of experience designing Zelda games has brought us. Overpowered Lizzleface. Okay, let's try bombing these motherfuckers. This particular one is really after me, so... throw and then detonate with L, I think. Did that. Well, that killed one of them at least, so obviously that's a decent strategy. Yeah, and that's the other two. I do that so that they can leave me the fuck alone. I don't really want their materials. They don't do much for me. Alright, so the memory point should be somewhere around here, and we found it. Ugh. So where is it? It's... Where's the castle? Hello? Hyrule Castle. There's the castle. Okay, now that's rather confusing. That's rather confusing because I suppose the reason why is because you're so used to the tower being there that when you see that there is no tower in the original picture, you take it for granted. You think, oh, well, it must be somewhere that the tower's not visible. Obviously, the tower wasn't there 100 years ago. They rose out of the ground sometime after that image was taken. So, yeah, it's a little confusing, and I would say creatively confusing. I wouldn't have assumed that... I wouldn't have assumed that... No, I did assume that this was actually what it was. At first, I assumed that this was it. Oh, see, this is the point. I was dead on the money the first time around, and then I thought, no, perhaps... Because time has passed, actually, what was once water has now become lava. Well, no, that's not how it was. It was actually still water, and it was precisely what I originally thought it was, but I don't know, my head was not in the right place, I suppose. Let's recall the memory. I've raised the volume so that it can be a more immersive experience. He looks so ridiculous with that helmet on, but he looks ridiculous anyway.
けれど、このところ少し無茶しすぎです。あなただって不死身じゃないんですよ。最近魔物に襲われたという報告が増えています。あのような強靭な種族までも混じってきていると、やはりこれは薬剤復活の予兆と考えるべきなのでしょうか。さあ急ぎましょう。最悪を想定し万全の構えを敷いておかねばなりません。
Wow, her voice is 10 times better in this language than in English. I don't even remember her voice in English anymore. I genuinely don't. But the chances of it being better are quite high. Okay, well, this is a Korok circle, I suppose, that presumably requires 2 stones to be complete. Maybe even 3, but we'll assume 2 for now. When I see some sort of possible Korok interaction, I do it. Because, well, I can do better than that. Because, you know, I'm not going to actually go looking for Korok, so I may as well do my best to interact with them when I can obviously see that they're here. So, there must be another rock around here somewhere. I don't mind carrying at some distance, I'm not precious about it, I just would rather not go super far. Or in other words, I don't want to go running around looking for it some great distance away from the circle itself, and then in actual fact there was one fairly close by that I missed right in front of my base. Alright. And I want all of your stuff, thank you. Probably not your spear, however. Forked Lizzle spear, I don't think so. I can't imagine it being very good. What shall we equip while our Master Sword is recharging? There is a temptation to use the Great Thunderblade, but I don't think I will. I'll wait until there's something that looks like it's going to be particularly weak to thunder before equipping that. And I suppose I would do it with all of these elemental weapons. There is a temptation to do it with the Great Frostblade, though, because even if we're dealing with elemental weakness or resistance, I don't think 30 is a very impressive amount of damage. I don't mind using the Master Sword because, you know, it never breaks, so it doesn't feel like a waste to be using it, but, yeah, let's just use the Great Frostblade, whatever. I'm sure it would be generally effective in this locale, at any rate. Either that or it would be ineffective because it would get melted immediately. It's hard to imagine how that would work logically, but there you are. I suspected correctly. There was actually one quite... Don't thrill, you fucking asshole. There was one quite close by. Oh, that one just moved itself. The Korok is playing tricks on me, I suppose. That's fine. Alright, place it down there. I don't know if that's enough to complete the circle. It's not perfect. But... whatever. Is that good enough for you? Oh, that's good enough for you. Now give me the damn seed. Aha, you found me. Indeed. I like how you say bye-bye. What if I don't want to leave? What if I want to stay by your side for the rest of your waking days? What does that even mean? Anyway, waking days. I suppose you can have days where you are not really aware and perhaps are in a state of sleep. But anyway, the point is that it seemed a little dismissive and perhaps cold of him to say bye-bye before I had even signaled my intent to leave. But anyway. I shan't be overly sensitive about the issue. Let's save. I'd say that's fairly good. We've made some progress fairly early on in the recording. That always bodes well. Next. Well, I suppose there is no secret now. Because someone in the chat wanted to spill the beans. I suppose it's rather silly for me to sit here and say, no spoilers, no spoilers. But I suppose the reason why I say it in the way I do is because I'm very cynical about people who mention these things. I think they do it more to be like, look at me, I know, rather than genuinely trying to be helpful. Perhaps if I weren't so cynical, I would take it in a better spirit than I do. But, you know, I'm trying to have an adventure here. I don't really need know-it-alls giving me all the answers immediately. So, yeah, if you could refrain from doing that, it would be helpful. But I suppose I invite it by being live. You know, I can't really complain when it happens. It's disappointing, but, yeah, I can't really complain. If I weren't live, however, I really would be truly wasting my time because no one would watch. Okay, so next memory point, I suppose, is not Hyrule Castle because I don't think we're going there. I don't think we are able to go there unless we commit to actually taking on Ganon. I could be wrong, but our next memory point is going to be this bloody place. This rather nondescript forest location. We're going to find out if I'm correct that it's actually a shrine. It's apparently called Blatchery Plain, which is a weird name, in the words of Linebeck, to make reference to a real Zelda game. Okay, it's actually not where I was expecting it to be. My first guess was that it would be around Central Hyrule, and just in this general area, maybe. It's actually, I think... Oh no, I suppose I was imagining that it could have been here as well. Blatchery Plain. So it's somewhere around here. It's almost in the center of this. Stop that. It's almost in the center. So somewhere around there, I think. I had best put a pin down so that it's easier to find. There we go. Does that seem about right? I suppose so. Let's not make it too easy. Let's not make it too easy. I suppose it takes a little bit of the fun out if I know precisely where to go. I had a good look in the last recording, couldn't find anything, but that's because I was going based on shrines. I have a distinct feeling that there isn't a shrine over here. I would have found it already, I think, if there were one. So, it's probably a case of there being some sort of rock formation that perhaps could look a bit like a shrine, but actually isn't. In fact, it doesn't have that that lighter coloration that I'm seeing here. There is no lighter coloration like that light brownish yellow. So, yeah, I suppose it wasn't a shrine after all that was in that image. In fact, I suppose, well, were shrines supposed to be something that, oh god, look at the fucking slowdown, look at that. Oh, ugh. Play Breath of the Wild on the Wii U today. So it's probably an object like this, probably some, well, that was a lovely Link eye shot there. It was definitely what I needed in that moment. But yeah, it could be a piece of ancient technology or something from the past. But yeah, you see that, I would never guess that it was around here. It looks like it's part of a much larger foresty area, to be honest. Yes, come on, pick up your stuff. I'm getting some white chew jelly. Not choo-choo jelly, but chew jelly. Because I'm not rewriting history. What's he talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so apparently it's around here, but... What, were there once trees here and there are no longer trees? Is that what's going on? I don't know. Memory point? Somewhere? It is apparently around here. It's like roughly in the center of this area. Maybe it's on the edge of Blatchery Plain. What kind of name is Blatchery Plain anyway? Where is this fucking memory point? I'd say this is the most well hidden of them all. Without a doubt, because there's nothing around here that looks like it could be that. Unless I go down here and... Yeah, alright. Don't pull the bomb out. What are you doing? Yeah, that's really nice when your sword just sails over the head of the enemy like that. What's going on? Oh, I see. So I suppose if I kill you, but freeze you, you don't actually die. You have to wait until you defrost before your death animation begins, and then I can actually harvest the rewards. Well, there is a chest here. May as well open that. Get this fucking bomb out of the way. Pick up bomb, throw bomb, detonate bomb, open chest, and get some absolute garbage reward. Oh, never mind. It's actually better than what I'm using right now, shockingly. So, yeah, that absolute garbage reward turned out to be better than what I was using as a weapon. It's the last time I make assumptions like that. What's that? It's a goat. Couldn't see from far away. Okay. The golden question. Where is this fucking place? Is it in here? I mean, according to the walkthrough that I briefly looked at, it was more centered than that, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's assume that it's in here, because this actually matches somewhat the picture that we saw. Or that we can see. I suppose we're looking for some sort of stone object somewhere in here. And the walkthrough did mention that it was Blatchery Plain, and we were on the outskirts of the plain in an area that did not visually match the picture, so maybe it's more likely to be somewhere around here. Get this Octorok. I'm so hungry I could eat you, but I wouldn't do that. It's rather, well, I'm not a fan of seafood, to be honest. Maybe Link is. Seems like these bokoblins are hunting for food. No, I'm not your food. I can't imagine they're being territorial. I'm guessing they were hunting for food. Or do they just attack random things? You are a white one that I need to take great care in fighting because these white ones are very strong for me even now. I probably should use something that heals me better than that if I am in need of healing. Alright, let's go. I'm always pressing the wrong buttons when I fight you. Yeah, alright. Oh, here we go. Well, he dropped his weapon at least. My great frost blade has broken, and I'm going to go straight to the weapon that I picked up just before. Let's just get him in a constant... Oh my god, no, I have to use something better than that. Let's use the... Well, I suppose we could use... Now, the Savage Lionel Crusher is my strongest weapon, so I'll use something a bit weaker than that. Let's at least whip out the Royal Claymore. I don't want something amazingly strong to fight this Bokoblin, because Bokoblins are not going to give me anything very interesting, are they? Unless I'm wrong, maybe these much stronger ones will give me better rewards, but can we just appreciate that the physics of this game somehow make it appropriate for me to throw this creature up an incline, then down a decline, and then have it slide on grass and rock for like, I don't know, 20 meters, maybe 10. But just absolutely no friction, sliding along the ground like we're on ice. It's unbelievable. Like, how could he slide that far? I didn't really pay attention to what we just picked up, but it seemed decent. I don't think I would have damaged this Claymore very much. The thing is, I would rather save a weapon that's this strong for something a little more meaningful than a Bokoblin, but I definitely wasn't going to stand there fucking beating on it with this weak thing. So, yeah. Sometimes you just have to work out what's worth doing. Wasting time or wasting the durability of a weapon. Who knows? Hello, bread users. Anyway. Somewhere in this forest is our destination. Let's keep looking. Because I've been given a very clear hint. And I can probably work it out on my own like a big boy. Oh, that looked like it was a little painful. See, that didn't look as painful. But that first Bokoblin just was tossed by my weapon and killed instantly. So, that was quite funny. I'm not seeing any stone objects that match the picture that I saw. So I don't really know what's going on. Maybe I'm too quick to fret. Let's just keep looking. Stop climbing trees. You know, that fucking auto-climb feature is terrible. I'm sorry. People who think that's good. I mean, I get it, it's streamlining. You don't need a special button to press to start climbing, but what if I'm just going about my business? And you know, I'm used to playing video games where I don't auto-climb, so touching a fucking part of the environment is not going to suddenly have my character climbing as far as my muscle memory and my expectations are concerned. But oh, hold on, I'm playing Breath of the Wild, and this guy is essentially the Hylian version of Spider-Man. And as soon as he goes near any vertical object, if his shoulder brushes against it, he's immediately fucking climbing around. I mean, it's honestly ridiculous, but that's the way it's designed. And we're all wet for Breath of the Wild, right? Wet. Sopping wet. Alright, I need to try and narrow down where this fucking place is, because I'm currently in Bubinga Forest. Absolutely stellar name. Bubinga, okay? So we're in Bubinga Forest, and apparently we should be in Blatchery Plain. Unless Blatchery Plain refers to this whole area, which is entirely possible, because we can see Blatchery Plain is in a larger font size than all of this other stuff. So maybe Blatchery Plain does not necessarily refer to this spot. It may refer to Ash Swamp, Bubinga Forest, and also the stable for Dueling Peaks and all of this business. So let's try to get a more clear position. Yeah, well, it's apparently about him. Yep, pretty much right there. So my first guess was correct. It's very well hidden. It's not something that you can find, in my opinion, purely based off the picture supplied, because the environment has changed, and this is an overworld. A map location. that is filled with random stone objects. Filled with them. So, I mean, I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to work it out on your own. I think it's something you just happen upon, to be honest. Maybe there is some identifying feature that I just haven't picked up on, but there's objects like this everywhere, all throughout Hyrule. So, I don't get it, but... Alright, when we happen upon this memory point, which presumably is around here, where is this fucking thing? Hello? Oh wait, let's just consult that picture again, shall we? Can we see an archway? Or anything, quite frankly? I can't really see anything. Does this make sense to you guys? Maybe I need to stand in the archway to see it? No. Where's the bloody memory point? You don't have to be that close to it to actually see the golden glow of the circle that is literally where the image was taken, but I'm not finding it. I thought I had the exact point I had to stand. I was pretty sure I had it. The Master Sword's power has been restored. Here we go, I bet it's in here. Where's the fucking thing? Because you can see that there are felled trees and tree stumps and things like that. So where's this fucking memory point? Somewhere around here, I think. This is horrendous. I'm literally right where I'm supposed to be and I still can't find it, so... What I'm looking for is that stupid golden circle. On the ground. Where is that? I'm gonna need a stamella shroom or two. Not the fact that I'm gonna need something hallucinogenic, I mean I'm gonna need some stamina soon. Because I'm expending a lot of it. Mental stamina, not physical stamina. Anyway... Link climbing random things again. Hello. Alright, I'll have to put a stamp down. It's apparently right fucking there. Like, right there. What's going on? Okay, yeah. Here. And by here, I mean here. Like, right here. What does the game want from me? Do I need to fulfill certain conditions before I can discover this? I suppose it's possible. It's pretty nasty for them to do that, because in my opinion it's already very difficult to spot. So let's imagine that I came here and happened upon the memory, because there's no other way for you to find it unless you look at a walkthrough. You'd have to happen upon it, because you don't come here and go, that's exactly the picture from the album. This is the memory. It looks just like... You're not going to have that realization naturally when you come here, so you have to be able to happen upon it, and yet I'm trying to happen upon it. I'm trying to find it. I know where it is and I can't fucking find it, so how is a person supposed to find it on their own? I don't understand. The only explanation, in my opinion, is that there must be some sort of precondition that must be fulfilled before you can discover it, which, I'm sorry to say, ladies and gentlemen, but that is fucking stupid, because it's physically here where the memory can be recalled. That is where it was established. So how would there be a prerequisite for this? Now, apparently a Babinga is an actual tree, so yeah. I'm glad you said obscure tree, makes me feel slightly less dumb. But I don't feel too bad about it, because Babinga's a stupid word. Apparently I need to be looking at the tower over there, so I should stand... Oh god, is it here? The memory point suggests that it's like here. Oh my god. Here. It's like here. Here? Up here? What do you want from me? This is supposed to be fun. Yeah, I pulled that fucking card out of my ass, didn't I? He did it. He just said it. It's supposed to be fun. Video games are meant to be fun. I'd rather be, I don't know, counting the legs on an ant. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but the point is this is just asinine. This is stupid. Ugh. Okay, so the archway is... What I'm trying to do is position myself... It's like it's here. Which is where my stamp is. It's there. Alright, let's see if there's a prerequisite. Okay, I've been wasting my time. This is actually a memory that exists, okay? It's what's called the 13th memory. That's what's going on. So because this guide is laid out really poorly... no, maybe I misunderstood. The memory point, the picture of it, I didn't know there was a 13th one, so I sort of glanced at it, and the colours of that memory point are very similar to this. What's actually pictured is different, but the colours are the same. And so I thought that it was a memory point for this, because I used, you know, the images that I had in my mind, my known images that were in my mind. I went down to the last one. This is the last memory, right? Okay. Yes, Doomlink is taking all this time to explain himself and justify the reason why he's been sitting here trying to recall a memory that literally can't be recalled yet, because there is indeed a prerequisite to discover it. However, it's not the one that he was looking for. I went down to the last one, and the colours of the last one on the walkthrough matched the colours of the last one here in my album, but it's not the same one. The one I'm looking for is elsewhere. It's further this way, I think. Let's get the actual position for it. Some fucking bridge somewhere. Somewhere in Hyrule Field. Is that specific or really unspecific? I don't know. Alright. Central Hyrule Field, somewhere around here, bottomless, etc., somewhere around here. Hylia River, it's about in here. Okay. So I was wasting my time, I was being somewhat foolish, but I was admittedly correct that there was a prerequisite, because I was obviously where I was supposed to be, but for a different memory. It is indeed one that requires all of the other memories to be discovered before I discover that one. So, very well. It's one that you get from Impa when you go back to her with the 12 memory points discovered. Whatever. It is what it is. What do you want? Who are you? No, you must not hurt the flowers. They are screaming out in pain. Yeah, I fucking remember you. I think it was in... Yeah, it would have been in 2017 when I first reached this place. Back when the game first came out. And, I regret it. I regret the experience. Can I swim through this? Yeah, I bet I can. I have enough stamina. This was actually pretty deadly back when you first started the game because you didn't have much stamina, but I can get through it now with my current stamina, no problem. Alright, let's follow the pin and get to that 11th memory point. Technically the 12th out of the list, but It is the 11th that we have to discover. And I don't know if we're going to be able to discover the actual last one that we need to before getting the 13th from Impa. We're going to give it a try. We're going to venture towards the castle. If it seems as if I'm being required to fight Ganon or begin a dungeon or something like that, then I'll try to turn back. I'll save the game and return to the loaded save. Ideally, I won't have to do that and they will let me back out of that little venture. We'll see how we go. We'll see how flexible the game wants to be. I'm assuming that I can access the castle because I have actually activated all divine beasts. So I would be happy if they had a hard precondition, which was that you had to have all divine beasts activated in order to recall the memory, but no hard requirement that you actually beat the game or attempt to beat the game in order to get it. Here's the memory point. So, we've got lots of enemies around me, but I really don't care. It's funnier like this, don't you think? Look at this skeleton. Angry skeleton. Ready to do battle. Alright, here we go. Hello, A-Gaming. One of our last memory points. Second, well, third last, I suppose. Oh! Oh, they're so filthy and dirty. He looked like he was about to take care of the burden. Put her out of her misery. Like a horse with a broken leg. Well, that's quite intense. More of that, please. Not like, you know, sad stuff or Zelda crying in particular, but something emotive and meaningful and engaging. Maybe I'm just joyless to not have been able to become engaged and interested before this point. I know you. I like your sword. I've always liked your sword. I think it's only got 40... Well, actually no, 40-something damage would be decent at this point. Stronger than what I'm using now, for instance. Oh. Yeah, I think it's called Wind Eater. The katana that he's using. These skeletal bokoblins are honestly just irritating right now. And distracting me from the real fight. Oh my god, why are you dealing so much damage? I suppose it's because my armor sucks. Because it's totally unupgraded. Oh no, it does have decent defense. Let's get some better defense on the go. And more attack. In addition to that. I need to actually start fighting a little better than this. I realize that I'm fighting quite poorly. I acknowledge that. Admittedly, I am going two-handed, so... Oh, well, fine. Can I actually hit you out of that? Yeah, I can. Certainly can. Fucking get your ninja ass over here. Wind Eater. Wind Cleaver, whatever. Makes more sense than Wind Eater anyway. 40 damage. Wind something, and I knew it was 40 something damage. In this case, just 40. So, yeah. Mighty bananas. I just... Skeletal Bokoblins are just a waste of my time. Skeletal anything are a waste of my time, in my opinion. Well, I haven't made Zelda cry. I'd probably make her cry if I told her how I thought about the game she's in here, but... Yeah. That was a good scene. I thought that was quite meaningful. And I can't really comment on the vocal performance, unfortunately, because I have my TV volume very low and couldn't really hear it. But I'm assuming it was a good vocal performance. Likely leagues above the... Well, maybe that's not fair, but it's probably noticeably better than the English performance. Okay, so we are going to try and see what's happening at Hyrule Castle. I don't know how to even enter it. I'm assuming the entrance point is here. That looks like the drawbridge. So let's head that way. We've been there before in other games. Let's pretend like this is Ocarina of Time and backstep our way to the castle. Oh, but it's night time, I think, so they will have pulled up the drawbridge. Now I realise that that's likely not the case. Could you mind your own fucking business? I just got headbutted by Bambi in a fucking Zelda game. That's how you know things are looking up. Unbelievable. Are you for real? I'm just minding my own business. And Bambi's out for blood. I can't believe it. Anyway. I'm not really interested in these choo-choos either. People may ask me why I don't have a horse or anything of that sort. It's a game, or rather this particular game, is one that I'm constantly climbing in. I always need to access places that can't really be accessed by a horse, and to be honest, I've always been focused on increasing my stamina, which means that I can run fairly effectively to any destination. So I don't feel like I really need a horse in this game, if that makes sense. Oh god, there's a huge guardian over there. I'm going to save, just to make my life a little easier. Do I still have any old saves here? No, all of my saves have now been updated to 2023. Erasing the past, as we speak. I don't want to deal with any more guardians, I've had enough, actually, but I may be forced to engage them going forward. And we're already having to deal with that. Can I outrun you? Yeah, I can. I would suppose that if you get too close to me, I won't be able to avoid your laser. Yeah, that... I'm still able to avoid that. I'm actually doing alright with the avoiding of the lasers here. Now, the question may arise as to whether or not I find this fun. I don't. I would rather not have to deal with them. Seriously. If I can find the right time, maybe I can... I'll give it a rest. Oh, I hadn't even considered that. Yeah, using one of them to block the other. Rivali's Gale now. Go, 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 go. And then, yeah, yep, they shouldn't be able to get me when I'm doing this. They shouldn't be able to get me. It's too much. They can't compensate for my movement. They can only shoot me precisely where I was when they shot me. So, yeah, fortunately the laser doesn't move that fast either. Okay, so we're in the Hyrule Castle town ruins now. Hopefully these fucking guardians can leave me alone. If you want to know why I don't bother with them, it's because... honestly, they take too much effort to kill individually, and there's a lot of them, and I don't feel like I get anything worthwhile out of killing them, so I would rather try to run away from them. Is that a decommissioned one or a living one? I can't really tell. But yeah, we're in Hyrule Castle town ruins at the moment. doesn't really look much like Hyrule Castle. I can see a central fountain, which I suppose is a theme of Hyrule Castle Town, but we're in Central Square apparently. I do need to get a better weapon. I can't be using this shit. I have to at least use the Royal Claymore, I think. Here we go, yeah. Let's just cut off all the legs. Will probably make things a little easier for me, because you can see when the little bastard can move around. Well, he's not that little, but when the big bastard can move around, it makes it a little harder for me. He can position himself with his laser. Come on. Why? What is... You guys are seeing this, aren't you? Get up! No, shield, please. Don't automatic... I was in a conundrum there. I didn't want to waste my... I can't remember the name of the character, but you know, the Goron. I didn't want to waste the Goron guy's ability. I really didn't want to do that. Alright. Keep eating, I guess. I just want to hit you out of this. Can that... No, it doesn't actually... You can do 2! Put it away, put it away. Doomlink, why did you pull out a bomb? It's because I keep pressing the wrong buttons. I can't remember how to play the game, okay? It's been 2 years. Do you know how many games I've fucking played? Jesus. I'm pretty sure even though it looked like my timing was okay, I did end up just using the Goron's ability there, so... Bit of a waste in my opinion, but... Can't help it. Can't help it. Let's save the damn game. I've had to eat so much, I mean... I must be really running out of food now. Yeah, I'm running quite low. Ugh. Well... I've got a decent number of materials. Let's just have a look and see what can be... No, I don't have much in the way of meat at all, so... Look, it's fine. I'm not looking to take on Hyrule Castle. I just want to get to that memory point. I don't know if to get to that memory point I have to go through a dungeon of some kind. I just don't know. Probably do, but... I genuinely don't know. It's taken me all this time to get to this point in the game. I still know nothing. I don't know what to expect. All I know is that I can access this now because I have activated the Divine Beasts. I've saved the game. If I've done something here that can't be undone for one reason or another, then I will return to that previous save. I'm just trying to access that last memory point. That's all I'm looking to do. Also, I'll apologize once and then just shut up about it. I'm sorry for the performance of the game. It's out of my hands. It's the Wii U struggling to run this game. Whoa. Look at that. So we've seen maps like these before, obviously, in the Divine Beast. This is what I was afraid of. I'm guessing that I can... Oh no, perhaps not. Maybe I can't leave. Can I leave once I've come here? Let's find out. Yeah, I can. I can come and go as I please. That's good to hear. So they do have a special 3-dimensional map, which I do like. I like these 3-dimensional maps. And this is a very interesting idea for Tears of the Kingdom, if we're going to actually have proper dungeons there. Maps like these in a dungeon in Tears of the Kingdom would be very fun. And I'd say there is a chance that that's what we'll get. I shouldn't say we because I don't even know if I'm going to play that game. Don't throw the weapon, stop it. I'm guessing I need magnesis for this. Yes. But yeah, I'd say that's possible. You say, do I know any good bar/pub spots in Australia? You're visiting Melbourne in August. Well, given that I don't live in Melbourne, I don't have much to say. No, I have no particular recommendations. Much like it would be in the United States, a person who lives in Tennessee probably doesn't have good recommendations for bars in Manhattan. So, yeah. It's just what it is. I have to tell you that I'm not in the fucking mood to deal with more of these enemies. I'm sick of it. I don't like them. I've had to deal with their stupid laser beams for a long time. And I've had enough. My sword. Did I actually throw it? Did I throw it? I did. Do you know why I didn't think I threw it? And thank you for reminding me, Bread Users. The reason why I didn't think I threw it was because the coloration is extremely similar to my bow. So I thought that my sword was sheathed on my back, but it was actually my bow. I thought I had thrown it, but when I saw my bow, I thought I perhaps had not. So, yeah, good. Anyway, oh, more lasers. Fuck off, please. Just go. No! I'm going to save the game because I'm not actually forced to continue with this. It's fine. I just want to, if I can, find that memory point. My guess is that I have to progress quite a distance through it all. I'm also going to guess that I can't use Rivali's Gale to traverse it. I'm just going to assume that now. Let's give it a try. Perhaps I can. I would... Oh, that could be it. That could be it right there. Is that it? It's one of two possible places it could be. I'm, of course, referring to the memory point. That could be one of locations. One of the possible locations. Let's give it a try. Hello. Oh, no. Seriously. No. Go away. Jump off. Jump off. Go. Okay. Probably not this one, in other words. Probably not this one. Oh, you think that I was actually able to walk inside Hyrule Castle from the start? That's possible. Yeah, I suppose there was nothing... There was no cutscene showing the Divine Beasts really contributing to my ability to enter, at least not that I could see. So, yeah, you may very well be right. I think I have to bow you, to be honest. In fact, I think that's what we should be doing from now on. Yep, that's definitely what we should be doing from now on. Come on. Are you dead? Yes, you're dead. And that should destroy the damaging goop that is surrounding it. No, it doesn't do that. I don't have much left. I don't have much healing wares, or many healing wares. I'm going to have to actually take the time to gather meat and do some cooking and... Ugh. Well, I can't get a memory point here anyway. By the looks of it. Well, hey, let's not go doing that. I'd like to go to the other side. Let's see if I can take a shortcut to this ladder. That's what I wanted to do. Alright. Perhaps if I stand here, I might have a chance to find a possible memory point. I'm going to assume it's quite high up. What's down here? Oh, there's a chest. Might be something worthwhile. Chef Doom. Yeah, I've definitely had recordings in the past during this Let's Play that have been mostly me cooking. And I will admit, the cooking in this game is quite fun. I've got a lot of nasty and unpleasant things to say about this game, but I find the cooking to be genuinely good, and it contributes a lot to the positive experience that one can have in this game. What is going on? Oh, that's right. I can't remember what ability allows me to do that. Yeah, just reflect it. I don't care anymore. I've fucking had enough of you. Where are you shooting me from? You stop. Show some restraint. But yeah, I genuinely think that the cooking system is creative, fun, and adds a lot to this game. It's excellent, and when I first gave it a try, it had taken me some time to even bother. I genuinely regretted leaving it as long as I did to give it a try. I guess I just didn't expect it to be as good as it was. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I'm just trying to fly around this shit if I can. Which I believe I can. Get on the... You're such a Spider-Man when I don't want you to be, and then when I want you to be, you're just like, no, I don't want to be Spider-Man, Doomlink. It happens when it happens. You can't control it. It's an urge. Ugh. Fuck you, Link, seriously. I have no respect for your character in this game. What is that? A problem is what that is getting faster! Ugh. I mean, if you've genuinely got anxiety, don't play this game, because that shit would mess with people who have anxiety. Just the impending arrival of the fucking laser. It's off-putting, even for me sometimes. Oh, you've got a lot more health than the Guardians do. This is just a turret. My hope is that these things don't fucking respawn. I'm assuming that they do, so I feel like I'm wasting my time a little bit here, but part of the reason why I wouldn't say, or I suppose why I wouldn't actually go so far as to say that I'm wasting my time is the fact that I want to, without worrying about getting shot by these assholes, survey my surroundings and try to find this possible memory point. That is what I would like to do. And you are going to explode, by the looks of it. How are my arrows going? I'm shooting regular arrows. Obviously, it's been a while since I last tried to grind arrows. I remember how to grind arrows, but it's been a long time. I'm getting aimed at by another laser. This is great. This is so fun. It's so fun. Like, I haven't spent the whole fucking game getting shot by these things. I haven't. No, this is a new experience. It's quite new. Because they're turrets. They're not Guardians now. They're turrets. It's different. Like, fuck off. I suppose they want me to try and deflect it because it's cool. It's, you know, rewarding skill or something. Well, that's cute, but what you do is you reward skill in ways that aren't perfectly repeated over and over and over again throughout the fucking game. How about that? Now, I do understand that there are other examples of confrontations that reward skill, like, for example, Lionel confrontations or things like that, but to have this amount of laser activity throughout the game is just, it's lousy. It's pathetic. Alright, so I saved the game so that I could get a chance to actually reflect, or deflect this rather. Well, all I did there was just pull my weapon out, so I obviously pressed the wrong button. Let's try that again. Ugh. Who's got the patience for this? Not me. And yet here I am. The things that I do. The length of time some of you have waited for me to return to this game. Oh, wow. Was it fucking worth it? That's the question I'd ask you. I'm not having a terrible time right now. If I were doing what I'm doing now, 2 years ago, I'd be gnawing on my controller and on the verge of having a breakdown. But I'm okay at the moment. What button do I press? It's not that. It must be A. It's A. I've been pressing the Y button, and I've done this before. Something about the Y button feels appropriate for a parry, but it's really not the button I should be pressing. It's actually A. That was just that was embarrassing. Let's try that again. I obviously overestimated the velocity of the laser, so let's just sit back, relax, and watch this 25 FPS laser come towards me. Very cinematic. It's probably less than 25, to be honest. Alright. No, put it away. Well, it was a little better than last time. I know some of you might think that this is a bit of a waste of time for just one confrontation, but the idea is that the more I do it, the better I'm going to get at it. It's harder than, for example, the Phantom Ganon confrontations that you would have in various games, because the laser travels faster than the orb that Phantom Ganon would shoot at you. So yeah, I get that they're recreating that, but... Alright, we'll get it this time. We'll get it this time. You can see how repetitive it is to keep doing this over and over again, sitting through that fucking loading screen every time. Alright, let's go, baby. Don't be shy. There you go. Does that kill it? No, it doesn't. You have to get it right 3 times by the looks of it. 3 fucking times. Well, look, I really did feel like I got it right. This is so unrewarding to have to do it 3 times consecutively. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, well. Obviously, I just need to develop some kind of skill with this crap. Is it worth it? Probably not. Might just Rivali's Gale my way through the whole fucking castle and be done with it, but... Alright, 3 times. 3 times. Three times. The challenge is not to get it right, it's to not fucking fall asleep by the 3rd one. Well, was that worth it? I don't know. Like I said, the reason why I'm wasting the time is not to have to save and reload this amount of times every confrontation, it's to actually develop a skill. Now, I haven't developed the skill yet, but I'm slowly but surely starting to make sense of the timing and to learn the pace of the laser, or the velocity, as I said. Yes, but I'm sick of lasers. I don't want chunky lasers. I just want something a little different to what I've been doing for the whole fucking game. Yeah, well, that's great. We're back to square one with the worst timing ever. So I give up. I don't really think that I need to even deflect all of the lasers. I don't think it's needed, so... Let me just see if there's an indication as to more surroundings. Okay, so... It's actually down low. It's not up high, it's somewhere down there. Is that it? No, probably not quite. So that's important. Unless, no, that could actually be deceiving, because you can see there are actually different layers of earth that create the castle. So when I saw that picture, I thought it might be all the way down there somewhere. Not necessarily, it might be much further up. I can see that there are... You see those winged statues? I'm seeing them up there. Next question. Are there winged statues elsewhere? If I can't spot winged statues elsewhere, then that's a good fucking target. That's a good direction to try. I am seeing some winged statues over there, but to be honest, I'd say that's a good direction to go in to start with. Yes, hello, laser. How are you today? Are you more accurate than the other ones? No, you're not. Not at all. So maybe I can just relax and not play your stupid game. Mini-boss? Yeah, I had a oh, fucking Lionel, isn't it? Okay. Well, you're fast. Has anyone ever told you that you're quite quick? And for some reason, that was not on target at all. Okay, so the idea is that this is your ultimate opportunity to actually hit the head, because he gives you that real clear opportunity. That's what I usually do. I use a bow with multi-shot to make it much easier. Here we go. Savage Lionel bow. In fact, the Lionel bow is designed to fight Lionels, which is cute. He's susceptible to his own technology. Alright, mount with A, and then press Y, I think. Can these skulls get out of here, please? They're off-putting. I already have to do so much to... Yeah, alright. I feel like it's a waste of arrows when I do that. It consumes 1, but shoots 3, I hope. If it consumes 3, I'm going to be upset. Alright. I'm accessing very old memories of how to play the fucking game. If you think the way I'm fighting this Lionel is totally inconsistent with how I've been playing the game in this video, that is because, well, I suck at the basics, but somehow I can recall memories of how I used to fight these things. So. Now, I'm not saying it's a deeply skillful process, I'm just saying that if you're fucking clueless, it's a bit hard to succeed against these things. And thus far, I have been playing as if I'm fucking clueless, so. I'm not sure how the durability of these bows is. Don't know. Alright, hopefully one more of those and this thing will be dead. Come on. And he's really dead. Fortunately, these skulls only exist as a distraction. They're not really threatening in any way. And they don't pose much of a threat. Alright, what have we got? A few arrows, Lionel materials. Lionel materials are very important because I can use them to upgrade this armor set. I don't know if they are used to upgrade all armor, because I don't have much experience with upgrading armor in this game. I chose one specific armor set to work on, and that's this set that gives me additional attack. I found that to be the most useful. So that's all I have upgraded. All I can say categorically is this is a set that requires Lionel stuff, so I do appreciate being able to get more Lionel materials. What I hope is that I can leave this is one piece of information I do want to know. I'm going to ask for this information because it's very helpful for me to know. If I choose to leave this place, will my progress be saved? Or if I come back later after having left, will I have to fight these bosses again? I'd rather not. Now it is perhaps useful to do that for materials, but I don't want to have to deal with the lasers, I don't want to have to deal with the mini-bosses, it's... ugh. I would rather just kill them now knowing that I don't have to do it again in the future if I choose to leave. So if anyone knows the answer to that, please let me know. It would help me in my ability to mentally absorb what's going on. I'm going to feel like I'm really wasting my time if I will have to fight them again in the future. Ah, it's tied to blood moons. Okay. Well, I don't know when the last one was, so he is hoping it doesn't come soon. Rivali's Gale is certainly an option here. Let me try to make sense of the map. I can get a bit of a bird's eye view of it. Okay, now I'm really confused. What the fuck is that? That is really confusing. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, so I think we want to go that way. I think we want to go that way. Is that right? Maybe I could use this to try and find the... That's actually an excellent idea. So, what would be even better is if I could find my picture. So, we're looking for sort of an octagonal, maybe even has more size than that. We'll just say circular turret-like room with a bridge connected to it and with something of a pavilion on a higher ledge nearby. Now those winged statues are probably not going to come up in this map that we've got available to us, but I'm thinking those two objects will be visible. Can we... No, we can't really zoom into it. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I can see buildings that are of a similar shape to what I'm looking for, but I think what we really need to look for primarily is the actual land that I could see. The mountain formation. Because you can see through it, it's a little confusing. It's hard to actually focus on one point. Maybe if I look from up here, it's easier. It's slightly easier. Let's look for bridges. How about we start by looking for bridges? I think I can see one there. Oh, is that it? Is that it? Oh, it could be it. It's hard for me to give you an idea of what I'm looking at, but... could be it. But can I see... Oh, I think... Have I got it? I've got it. I think I found it. Now, I can't... Yeah, I think I found it. So, it's pretty close to the castle. It's up that way, I think. Let me try and see if I'm right. Yeah, I'd say that's a good guess. It's hard to see, but I think that's... There is actually a turret. It's that turret up there. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's give that a try. We'll give that a try for now. I don't have many Rivali's Gales, which upsets me. So, you know, if I had 3, that'd be excellent, but I don't have 3, so... I have to make the most of what I've got. That is... actually not going to be much of a problem because I can see that... Is that it? Let's save here. It's a good spot to save. We'll do that. And then... You can see what I'm looking at, can't you? I'd reckon that's it. Let's give it a try. If it's not that, it's going to be something that's very, very similar. Get around it, dickhead. You see what I mean? Like, I'm trying to hug it to be accurate when I circle around it, but instead Link's like, oh, do you want to climb it? You want to climb it? Yeah, I'm ready to climb it. Oh, let's go. Fuck off. Seriously. Is that a blood moon? Oh, fuck right off. Is that a blood moon? You have got my balls in your mouth. If that's a blood moon. What is going on? I don't know what just happened. What was that visual effect that I just saw? Princess Zelda Study. I was right. That's it. Fuck me. I'm a map reader. That's what I am. I'm a fucking map reader. Okay. Had a good fucking feeling that that's what I was looking for. Well, at least that's another memory that I managed to find on my own. I'm not going to continue going through this castle because it's the last part of the game. I don't want to continue until the end of this point of the game that I'm in, so let's just have this be as far as we go, and then we'll go back to doing side quests. Are we all in agreement? Here we go, we've got Zelda in her proper outfit. I suppose those creatures were at one point benign, but not anymore. Here we go. Is he still named Daphnis? I don't remember.
ガーディアンの実験を見ていました。私たちが異物を完全に把握すれば薬剤への対応も。
確かに古代異物の研究はハイラルにとって極めて重要だ。だがこの国の姫であるお前がなすべきことは他にあるはず。いつまでそうして己の役目から逃げ続けておるのだ。
Whoa.
逃げてはいません。
That's a good response.
先日も勇気の泉に赴き、沐浴し、祈りを捧げ。
異物に関わるのをやめ、すべての時間を修行に注げと言うておる。薬剤封印の力を身に宿す術がそれ以外にあるのか。
わかりません。でも努力しているつもりです。けれど。どうしてもだからせめて今の私にもできることを。言い訳は聞きとうない。
王として命令する。今後一切異物に関与することは許さん。泉での修行に専念せよ。
This is pissing me off, and I'll tell you why after this.
何と呼ばれておるかは知っていよう。出来損ないの姫、責を果たせぬ無才の姫。そうではないという証を立てるのだ。よいな。
は 父様。
This cutscene and the last cutscene that I saw were quite good. There is a problem with this game, and it's that it's open world. It's not that it's, well, perhaps we wouldn't say that it's because it's open world, it's that there's no defined way in which the story and the context surrounding this whole reason that we're here is being delivered to us. You know, these are all random memories, which are effectively pieces of the story, pieces of the context for why we're here and why we're doing this, scattered all around the world, and you find them in random order. There's no... You are not going to actually have these pieces of the story delivered to you in the best order to engage you or to really tell a good story. It's just at random. It's all jumbled and all over the place. I think that this is where the game really fails in interesting me anyway. I mean, maybe for some people they don't mind, you know, the fact that they've got the information there and that they can discover it at their leisure and in whatever sequence they happen to find it. Maybe that's good enough for them, but not for me. I think that there are, for example, some of these don't seem to have much meaning, but if you tied them all together in the correct sequence, it would be more meaningful. Now, I don't see this and then, you know, go through the Rolodex of my memories and go, oh yeah, I remember that scene, and now that scene, and now if I string it all together in my head in a sequence that actually works, that's a great story, that's great. No. What you fucking do is you put the sequence together in a nice, engaging, meaningful, and immersive way. You don't randomize it like this. Now, it's a bit late to be complaining when Tears of the Kingdom's coming out, I get that, but for fuck's sake, you don't tie the story to the randomness of exploration in an open world. Please, like, it's... Because one of the things I've really struggled with in this game is caring about the story. I don't care about it. Part of it was because I didn't feel like it was a proper Zelda game, so I felt that the presence of Link and Ganon and Zelda were just, you know, they were shoehorned in to let Nintendo say, see, it's a Zelda game, relax, it's still Zelda, because it's got Zelda, it's got Link, it's got Ganon, even the King of Hyrule's here, it's called Hyrule, there's Zoras and Rito, but it didn't feel very much like Zelda. But if it were a good story, and if it were believable, and if it convinced me that it was special by, you know, presenting all of these contextual scenes in a nice sequence and in a meaningful sort of way, maybe I wouldn't be sitting here worrying about whether or not it's a Zelda game quite as much. There are a lot of things that I think could have been done so much better in this game, but people will inevitably see that criticism as unfair, because people herald this game as one of the best open world games ever made. But the thing is, like, what that tells me is just how easy it is to make a good open world game, because of so many things that they've fucked up that to me were just obvious. And I'm not a good game designer. I couldn't design a good game even if I tried, I don't think. I don't think I could, genuinely. But as a person playing the game, I genuinely feel that there are just certain things that are not good. And that maybe the only reason why they found their way into the finished product was because by the time the game designers realized, oh, maybe that wasn't such a good idea, it was too late. They'd already put too much time into it, and like any game that you're designing, there is something of a deadline. You can't just be working on it forever. There's a time scale there. And this game had already been in development for a long time, and so, you know, things like shrines and also the way this story is delivered, for example, I just think that, and also various mechanics of the game, and I also don't like the weapon pickup system. I'm not going to sit here and list all the things that I have a problem with when it comes to Breath of the Wild, but in my opinion, this is a big problem. The way that they've told the story. I've never once given a shit. But you know what? Seeing the memory point, or seeing the memory that Link has from this memory point, and also the one from here, and possibly one other. Can't quite remember what it is. I seem to remember that there was another one that I quite liked in the past, years ago when I saw it. You know, those actually make me sit back and go, you know what, I'd like to know a little bit more about this story, but it's too late. You know, I'm only now finding it. So, I mean, it's too late. This is a game that I have, for the most part, not really enjoyed. I haven't become very attached to it. It's not really the sort of thing, as I have explained before, that would actually replace the traditional Zelda experience for me. Like, I can't accept this as a replacement for what used to scratch my Zelda itch, because this isn't meaningful enough for me. I'm sorry, like, I don't get anything out of it. And I think part of the issue is what I've just been discussing. It's the way that they've presented the story. And, I mean, who the fuck would think it's a good idea, is the question I'd ask. Like, why would you think that it's good to randomize the way in which the story is told? I mean, you can't do it like that. The sequence of how a story is told is key to any story that you write. Because it's not what's in the story, it's the presentation. Ask any person who is involved in movie direction. I mean, I suppose you don't have to talk to someone who's involved in movie direction. Talk to any film buff and ask them how much editing will change a movie. You can have all of the same scenes. I suppose in some cases you can cut scenes and that's part of the editing process, but let's just imagine that you've got all the scenes together. How you sequence it and how you edit it can make or break the movie, can make or break the story, because it's about the presentation. That is a huge part of a story. And yet here we are, literally randomizing it. It's not even a choose your own adventure, it's just like, oh, let's just randomly throw in these little things. But to me, these are massively important to developing the player's interest in the game they're playing. So how could you be so careless as to randomize it? I think it's egregiously negligent. And it pisses me off that this is what had to replace my Zelda experience. Anyway, and to me that's not like, you know, I'm not sitting here speaking the wisdom of the gods. I don't think this is, you know, anything too significant. I think it's a shame that the game designers didn't pick up on this. How could they not have picked up on the fact that having these key pieces of overall story context being randomized, how could they not pick up on that being destructive to the experience? Shockingly, it wasn't. Shockingly, it actually didn't make a difference. People still sing the praises of this game to the extreme. Sorry guys, I actually have to, there's a storm rolling in right now and I have to close the window. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I'm back. Don't really need a wet bedroom. But yeah, I've had my little rant. I don't really care about the rant coming too late to mean anything, because do you know what? Even if I ranted about this years ago, it wouldn't really have made a difference anyway. I'm not a person who has any exposure. That's the reality of it. I started this Let's Play when the game came out, and there was just zero discoverability on YouTube. So I'm not concerned about the timing of it. But seriously, the reality of story writing dictates that there is no possible way for the approach that they took with this game to actually make a good story. Sorry. You can't sit here and say, well, the factual events of the story remain the same regardless of the order in which you experience those little story portions. You can't actually make that comment and have it mean anything, because it's all about the presentation, it's about the sequence, it's about how you interpret the story, not the factual events as they occur, being good or bad, and then you just have to accept it as such. So it's not how it is. It's never how it is. It's never how it has been. And if just writing an interesting series of events was all it took to make a good story, well, there would be no shortage whatsoever of amazing, breathtaking, and engaging stories in the world. But, well, I suppose there'd be too many of them, is what I would say. Anyway, I'm happy that we have now discovered all of those memories. Again, there is a 13th one. We will find that if we return to Impa in Karkrika Village, she will give us another one. It's been a long time coming. Took us, literally since 2017 to complete this quest, but I don't really mind. I don't mind at all. Come on. Don't be shy now. I was somewhat tempted to experience this game again on the Switch, with better performance, but then I realized, why would I do that to myself? If I ever do play this game again, especially because it's a single-player game, I will emulate it. I think this would be a great game to emulate. That is assuming that the emulator can properly run the game, and I think it could. Probably depends on whether you do Wii U or Switch emulation. It's probably better to emulate the Wii U version, most likely. But yeah, imagine just unlocking the frame rate, if that doesn't break the game, and just having much crisper, cleaner video, and yeah, it would be brilliant. Maybe up the textures a little bit, get a bit more anti-aliasing in there. I think that would be very good to experience. So, why have the Switch experience? Is the way I look at it. Hello. Remember me? Well, you've returned. What is it? No. All 12 pictures already? You've visited every place? Then I suppose it's time. I will reveal the location of the final memory. Here's what happened. Lady Zelda gave me specific instructions. She asked me to wait to show you this. This is the final picture. Does it look familiar? From this village, you should be able to get there in a half-day's time. Now go, child, seek out what Lady Zelda has shown you. Alright. Oh, that's nice. Shutting the doors in my face like that. Oh no, there aren't even any guards here. It's just a fairly disagreeable pair of doors. I don't know what you're trying to do, Link, but, when I'm walking casually, I need you to not climb random surfaces. I mean, look at this! Look at it! What's he doing? I'm just walking. I mean, I did technically do this just to demonstrate it. But he was trying to do this while I'm just walking. I'm minding my own business. It's pretty normal. I mean, get this. You're walking in a video game, and your body touches a surface. That's normal shit. But in this game... Ugh! How can that not infuriate people? It must. It must infuriate people. Fuck me. Oh, it's so streamlined. You don't even have to press a button. You can just walk into objects to start climbing. can't you see that that's a bit fucking awkward? Like, all the time? It's always awkward. You're constantly accidentally climbing things. I mean, perhaps you can change the way you play and just treat every surface like this dangerous object that might suddenly cause you to inadvertently climb all over the fucking place, but why should I have to start playing like that? Why? Why is that necessary? Just fucking design your game properly. Have a button to start climbing. Have a prompt or something. Christ. Yeah, and then people might say, oh, well, that would be annoying to have the prompt constantly on screen. You know what? It's better than automatically climbing things when you don't intend to do it. Have a prompt that's, like, non-invasive. And have it be a button that's not something that's constantly pressed. I don't know, something on the D-pad, for Christ's sake. Is the D-pad used at all in the game? Hold on. I'm going to find out. It is. It is very much used in this game, that's right. Of course it is. Is there anything that's not really... down? Down is horse call. Shit. Well, horse call can be something from the menu. I don't know. But just, Christ, like, use something on the controller, please. Why does it have to be an auto climb? Streamlining is not automatically good, you know. I know I do tend to complain about streamlining in video games, but there is definitely a place for streamlining, but you have to be careful with it. Otherwise, it just gets dumb. It gets stupid. Convenience is not the point. Sorry, I mean, that might actually look as if I did that intentionally just to complain. No, I was looking at my stamina wheel and was hoping to go past the tree, but no, he climbed instead. But yeah, seriously, it was... the reality is that streamlining can be dangerous because there is more to a video game than sheer convenience. Is it more convenient to auto-climb? Yeah, of course it is. But there is a fucking consequence to that. And that is that you will constantly climb things, weird things, when you didn't intend to do so. Oops, I'm really not going in the right direction. Let's go that way. Have I tried whistle running? I did hear about that. There was something else as well. I don't think it was whistle running that I'd been informed of, but there was something else, like some sort of weird jump run, where I think you can jump to... I don't know if it was whistle running or something to do with jumping and running, but yeah, there was a way to move really quickly by abusing something in the game. I would say, as a general response to that question, no, I have not tried whistle running, and I don't intend to do it anytime soon. I'm quite talented when it comes to going in the wrong direction. I really need to put a pin down. Why do I bother putting stamps down? It's ridiculous. Because I need pins. Stamps are almost useless. Because when I put something down, I use it as a waypoint, not just to mark something on the map for later. I genuinely want to use it to direct me, so I need to use a pin rather than a stamp. Alright, let's actually go to this memory point and discover something, shall we? It's about fucking time. Yeah, this is where I was standing over and over and over again, wondering why the fuck I was not actually finding a memory point. Ugh. Always the same thing. He squints and then, I remember. So this is in sequence. We do see this at a time that we're meant to, but all the others are good fucking luck. Good fucking luck. Okay. Nice ability. Oh. I suppose she can neutralize the calamity, something like that.
私今
Oh dear.
死なないでお願い死なないでまだ助かるリンクを助けられる
姫姫ご無事ですか
Ninjas to the
あなたた
rescue.
ちにお願いがありますこの人を海星の祠まで連れて行ってください急いで彼の命が燃え尽きてしまう前に
Well, there you are. I'm going to assume that this is going to lead to another quest directly after it.
あなたは100年前の私との思い出をそのすべてを取り戻してくれました私はここで
Hello, Nacho Reggie.
城で待っています
Welcome.
あなたが厄災ガノンを打ち倒してくれる日を
It's not now time for me to defeat him. I shall defeat him at my leisure. Complete. And I suppose the quest that continues on from that is the one that I already had in my list of main quests, which was defeat Ganon, or whatever. Okay, what else have we got? We've got Find the Fairy Fountain. I feel like this is an old one. Pikango, who the fuck is that? Really wants to see the entrancing great fairy fountain behind Karkrika village, but all of his efforts to search for it have been stymied. I found this a while ago. Like a while ago. At the beginning of the game, it feels. So, I suppose proof of its location refers to taking a photo of it, which I can do. Either that or I can... What do you mean? I guess I go and talk to him and... So the fairy fountain's in there, obviously. Maybe I could just talk to him and he's fine. If he requests a photograph, I can give him one. I don't particularly care. It's considered a main quest, so I'll prioritize it for now. It seems a little... a little pointless at this point in the game, but... Gotta start somewhere with all these quests that I'm apparently not going to do. I'm going to do some of them, but not all of them, as I've said. Maybe I will just end up doing all of them. I don't know. I suppose the only reason why I wouldn't do all of them is if some of them were just too difficult. And just weren't worth the time. I don't mind putting the effort in to get something done in a game that I am passionate about, but I'm not passionate about this game. I'm more interested in fun than in completionism when it comes to a game like this. So, yeah. Who's the guy who wants proof? Ah, I see. Had I completed this mission earlier, Pikango would roam around and give you hints near memory locations. That's interesting. How you going? Well, I suppose that's my fault for not doing this quest sooner. That would have been nice. The Great Fairy Fountain isn't just lovely, they say it can bestow some kind of mysterious power on people. I'm pretty sure that one suspicious spot is where it's hidden. But then why can't I find it? Take me there? Wow, you sure are high-spirited. I didn't know you loved beautiful landscapes quite so much. Well, shall we? Don't know what to tell you, mate, but... Oh, do I have to... I thought you were going to lead me somewhere. I'm happy to lead the way, but that's not how it appeared it was going to take place. Okay, do I now follow you? Okay, he just had to think about it. Again, I'm sorry for the slowdown. I said that I wouldn't apologize again for it, but anyway. It probably is slightly disruptive to the viewing experience. I like your hair. It's like a giant acorn on a stick. That's what it looks like. Ooh, are you okay? Seemed like he was suddenly unwilling to go in that direction, then immediately turned around again. A bout of acute indecisiveness. Hello. What's going... Oh, dear. Well, he's actually a bit old, isn't he? Yeah. I was about to say a few things, and then I realized, no, he is an elderly man, apparently, and he's also wearing those sandals that have a name that I don't recall. So tired. Hills aren't easy for old fogies like me. Sorry, but I don't think I can go on. Just wait. The Great Fairy Fountain should be along the path that leads past the shrine. What a good hint. That's what I've been told anyway. Yeesh, I'm completely out of breath. That always happens right about here. I see, it has less to do with his stamina and more to do with some sort of repelling effect of the Fairy Fountain. Pant. I think I'd better rest for a bit. You go on ahead. And hey, if you'd find it, don't forget to get a picture. I had a feeling he would request that. Very well, I'll get a picture of the Fairy Fountain. That's fine. That looks like a good photo. Or rather, it looks like it would make a good photo. Here we go, Great Fairy Fountain. Oh, lovely. Just, I'm going to submit that to a photography competition of some kind, and then promptly not win it, because someone took a really nice black and white photograph of something rather abstract. Okay, nah, I'm being silly. Of course, usually it would be a separate category within the competition for black and white photography. Someday, I hope I can see that place spoken of in whispers, veiled in mystery, the Great Fairy Fountain. Oh, I found it. Ah, you found it? Really? Are you serious right now? And if you are, then where's the picture? You remember to bring the picture, right? Yes. I have it on this strange, high-tech device. This is the Great Fairy Fountain? It's certainly beautiful, but I thought it would be more sacred and elegant. What do you mean? It looks pretty sacred and elegant to me. God, this guy's got rather exacting tastes. Exacting in the sense that if it's not absolutely out of this world breathtaking, it's not quite up to snuff, you know. Well, I'm impressed you found it. I want to give you something to show my appreciation, but I don't think I have anything on me. I know! Is there a place you've been seeking? I've travelled all over Hyrule, so I might be able to help you find it. Recognize anything? What do you mean? Oh. Well, I've already discovered all of these. Oh. Oh, I know that place. There's a big mountain east of this called Mount Lanayru. Oh, I see. Well, that's nice. Yes, your help was useful. It would have been rather nice to get that help sooner. But anyway, I suppose that's if I really couldn't find the locations, but I happened to find them on my travels anyway. It wasn't until last recording that I actually went out of my way to find them, and I was able to find most of them on my own, so I don't think he would have been that helpful, to be completely honest with you. Maybe he would have assisted in having me discover it in sequence, but even then I'm not so sure that that would be the case. It sort of depends on how I'm going to progress through the game, and no matter what, I wouldn't have let these memory points dictate my progress through the game, you know. I would have gone through the game. In fact, the first one that he gave us a hint about is the fucking 11th out of 12, so yeah, that's definitely not how you're intended to. You're not expected to go from 1 to 12 in sequence like that. It's simply not what you're expected to do. So, yeah, but we're going to get off that subject. The intention, I think, of an open world game like this is to essentially go in whatever order seems fun. There are obviously some places that you probably shouldn't go to very early on because you will be out-leveled, but yeah, for the most part, it is for you to decide where you would like to go first. Let's save the game. We've made further progress in quest completion. Where are my quests? Here, I think. No? I can never fucking find anything. Alright, adventure log, sorry. What else is here? So, EX the Champion's Ballad. She said because you have tamed all 4 divine beasts, you can now unlock the powerful force hidden within. Head to the Shrine of Resurrection and return the Sheikah Slate to its terminal. This is from DLC Pack 2, okay? I don't know if I want to do that yet. But to be honest, there aren't any main quests that I have yet to do except for this one, so I don't think that's a problem. It feels weird to immediately do something from Pack 2, and I haven't really done any DLC quests from Pack 1, so I don't know. But yeah, I have all the DLC because I pre-ordered, I'm pretty sure. It was just included, so I just had to wait to download it when it eventually came out. But yeah, I think I've got my Nintendo Switch shirt that you get from the pre-order, yeah. Oh no, it's just the expansion pass bonus, so it's not actually, there's nothing specific to the pre-order. Oh well, I can live with that. So, yeah, I suppose we may as well do that. If it ends up being something we can't really do, or something we perhaps shouldn't do, and I can get a sense, or if I suspect that before going ahead with whatever the quest is, then we'll not go ahead with it and we'll do something else. But yeah, let's go to the Shrine of Resurrection. This is literally where we started our journey, so I don't mind returning. I think coming back to this place is appropriate, because it's been, 6 years. I can't believe it, it's been 6 years since I started this game, so, yeah. It's significant no matter what, at this point. Come on. Shrine of Resurrection. I think we go this way, yes. Because I can see daylight out there. It's looking rather drab, but it is daylight nonetheless. Alright. Drab as in, it's overcast. Alright, so we... Wait, do we actually... No, perhaps no, we do want to actually go to where we started the game. We want to be in here. Sorry, I wasn't keeping track of the map. We do want to go in this direction. Here we are. Feels so weird to be back here. It's literally the first stuff that I was looking at when I was playing the game, and I remember it, I was ready to really have some fun. Back when Zelda Wii U was announced, I was beside myself, because I was imagining in my head it was going to be like an open world Twilight Princess, and I was so fucking ready. I was ready, because of how utterly disappointed I was, like crushingly disappointed with Skyward Sword, because it was as far back as like 2013 when they first announced Zelda Wii U, and god, it looked ambitious and exciting. You found me. Yeah, well, it's not you that I want to engage with right now. I think I need... Oh, that's right. I have to return my Sheikah Slate to where I found it. Here we go. It's interesting. It's the same sort of contraption that you would put your Sheikah Slate into at the towers, so this is interesting. Sheikah Slate and champion verification complete. Activating the Divine Beast Tamer's trial. Oh shit, it's a trial. I don't think I want to do this. It's probably like one of the final things you can possibly do in the game. This is probably a serious fucking trial. Associated locations have been marked on the map. Ugh, I'm not ready for that shit. There's no way. It's definitely a final trial of Breath of the Wild, without a doubt. What's this? Oh, a trident of some kind. Is it ceremonial or is it an actual weapon? Take hold of the provided weapon to begin the challenge. I don't think I want to begin the challenge. They've described it as an EX quest, and I consider that to refer to difficulty. Could also just mean that it's special. The trial will begin once you take hold of the weapon. I don't want to. I'm almost certain this is intended to be the absolute final quest. Like, you can technically do it before doing the Destroy Ganon quest, but to me, that's not what was intended to happen, because obviously this would have come out maybe a year after this game released. Maybe 10 months, something like that. It was some time after the game came out that DLC Pack 2 released, I remember. So, yeah, I'm not ready for it yet. Doesn't feel quite right. So we've got side quests here, and shrine quests. Which is weird, because most shrine quests are quests that require completion in order to access the shrine that they are linked to. So the fact that, oh no, that's probably exactly what's going on. There are probably shrines that I have yet to access. So, yeah, okay. I suppose we'll do that. Or do I want to do side quests? I really did have side quests in mind when I was thinking of doing quests. I literally said side quests. There's a Xenoblade one. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. What's going on? Stars left 3. What is going on here? The eastern sky from sky. Oh my god. I need to find red shooting stars in 3 different locations. That looks really not enjoyable. Maybe if I played Xenoblade I would be interested, but I do not. A royal recipe. Gotta, a beautiful man who works at the stables. Well, he doesn't have a very beautiful name. Sounds like Gotta. Trotter? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't sound that much like it. Gotta, a beautiful man who works at the stables, has become completely infatuated with the cuisine once favoured by the Hyrulean. See, no, it's Hylian, I think. Or is it Hyrulean? Maybe Hyrulean refers to royalty, whereas Hylian just refers to the race of people living in Hyrule. I don't know. Hyrulean royal family. Eating it has been his lifelong dream, ever since learning one of its ancestors was a chef in Hyrule Castle. Some old cookbooks may still be lying around Hyrule Castle. That requires me to go to Hyrule Castle, and I've already been there, and I've decided I don't want to return for some time, so we're not going to do that. Hunt for the giant horse. That sounds a little frightening. Out in the Farron grasslands, you came upon Straya, or Straya. I bet I would have commented on this at the time, saying it's basically how Australians say Australia. Straya. Straya, mate. Who is conducting a study on animals of the region. He said he's specifically looking for the rumoured giant horse that lives on the Taobab. Taobab? Sounds like an Indonesian kebab or something. Taobab, are you for real? The names in this game are just atrocious. I'm sorry, they're bad. They're really bad. Straya, case in point, asked you to help with his investigation into the giant horse. After all, how giant could it really be? That's what I'd like to know. So, purely out of curiosity, I'm going to check out this so-called giant horse quest. Who knows, maybe it'll be quite unreasonably large. So, what's happening here? Hunt for the giant horse. Presumably it's going to be in this area, so we'll make our way there. I remember Owadime. Indeed I do. It's a memorable name for a shrine, because it's one of the early ones I visited, I think. It's when I was getting used to the weird names of the shrines. I have already been live for 2 hours. I'm not forced to limit my play time to 2 hours at all. That's the minimum that I go for. I'm still in the mood to play for maybe another 30 minutes or so, perhaps even longer. It depends on how fun this little side quest happens to be. And perhaps how quickly it is completed, or how not so quickly. I'd say that's a Korok. I would say that's a Korok. Should we give it a try? Let's see if it is expected that we get it in a particular place. Maybe, may not be. Oh, I bet it has to go up there. I bet it's for a fucking Korok seed, and I'm supposed to use Stasis to send it over here. Yeah, maybe not. I guess they don't want me to engage in a strange and slightly excessive form of golf. They actually want me to just remove the rock. Either that, or there is no significance to the rock whatsoever, and to suggest that it's a Korok might be slightly paranoid of me. Let's find out. It probably auto-saved when I warped here, but I'm going to do a manual save. I'm going to then select a weapon that I don't mind essentially breaking. I think it would be the Master Sword, quite frankly, because that's a sword that's not going to actually break. And I'm going to see how we go with this. Let's just aim to get the rock out of here. It'll be fun to watch it absolutely fly off in some direction. Here we go. This is going to launch itself. Whee! Oh, it's a chest. Okay, fair enough. I can see the rock tumbling into the darkness, into the abyss. I was actually able to keep it in my sights for the whole duration of its descent. Okay, we got a royal bow. I'm very happy to get that. That's a good pickup. A good bow. I've got... I think that's my last bow slot. But yeah, happy to get another royal bow. In fact, I should equip one of them now. Because, well, I suppose I'll equip the lesser of the... Oh no. They seem to be the same royal bow. So, there you are. But yeah, I don't want to be using the Lionel bow unless I'm fighting a Lionel. So, that's the plan. That duplex... Oh, fine, I'll equip the duplex bow. I'm not fast. Okay, so we're heading in that direction. Is it actually down? Yes, it's very much down in that valley. Rivali's Gale. Off we go. It is cold, but I think we can stand the loss of health. It's only going to be minor. It may not even cause us to lose health at this temperature. Well, we don't have to worry anymore. I did say that I will have to gather some meat, but I suspect that this is, of course, in relation to recovering my health. I was reminded by mentioning the loss of health and then simultaneously looking at my current health status. It's not great. I did say that I was going to pick up some meat at some point, but I have a feeling that that will happen in the next recording. We're looking for a giant horse. Is that the giant horse? Did they literally just take us straight to the giant horse? It's not that big. Oh, actually, it is pretty big. Is there a way to... Hey, I'm going to horse call you. Come over here. So, presumably I have to tame the horse as I would any other horse. I've probably only done it once before. Let's have a look. Help with his investigation into the giant horse. Is it good enough to just take a photo of it? I could try just taking a photo. No, don't do that. Can I zoom in at all? Question mark. What's this? Giant horse. There you go. No. Don't shoot the How stupid are you? Can't you just press the right fucking buttons? Literally. What the fuck? Can't press the right buttons. Giant horse. Yeah, that's a stellar photo. It was recognized as a giant horse. Yeah, giant horse. So, I've taken a photo. Do I have to tame it as well? I've shot a fucking arrow at it, so I don't think it's going to be wanting to have anything to do with me anytime soon, so I think I can maybe catch up to you, maybe? No, you're quite fast. Do I have to corner you? Presumably I'll get a Y prompt to mount you, but if I don't, can I freeze you solid? Stasis presumably won't work. Cryonis doesn't work. Do I have to... I probably have to sneak up on you. Well, perhaps not sneak up on you, but if I walk slowly, maybe it'll be okay. Let's give that a try. I swear there's an option to crouch in this game. This will be my first attempt in recent memory to actually tame a horse. First thing I'm going to do is walk slowly so as not to startle the creature. I am concerned, however, because the casual pace of the giant horse is much, much faster than Link walking slowly, so as not to apparently startle wild animals. The horse has partially disappeared into the sand. The horse is now stationary, presumably stuck in quicksand, because that's what it fucking looks like right now. Don't worry, horse, I'm coming to your aid, I think. Don't be startled, for I am walking slowly, and without obvious intent to tame you, I think. Come on. Come on, horsey, horsey. Mount with A. I was expecting it to be a Y prompt. Soothe with L. And then I think it will have... I basically have to follow the button prompts, I'm pretty sure. Soothe with L. I'm soothing you. Whoa with L. Oh, it's apparent... Wow. Here I was expecting there to be quite a process here. The horse is fucking mine, mate. This giant horse... Look at it! It's actually huge. Well, I don't know if that's an appropriate way to ride a horse. You're fucking grabbing onto its hair like that. Okay. Whoa. I'm gonna whoa you a few times. Whoa. Do I need to soothe you? I'm soothing you. Oh, the horse loves me. Okay, so let's get it away from wolves. I understand that this thing is much larger than the wolves, but you never know. They might become so threatened that they'll lash out even if there's no conceivable chance of them winning against a giant horse trampling their heads in. Anyway, Outback Doomlink, the horse hunter, yeah. Well, that is pretty much how it felt like for a moment there. You can really get a sense for the unreasonable size of this horse when we go closer to the other horses. They look like foals compared to this thing. Look at them, they're tiny, oh my god. This is an appropriate steed for the hero of time. Soothe the horse. You can sort of see when the horse gets restless, so if you've got a prompt to soothe the thing, it makes sense when you're supposed to use it. Soothe the horse again. You're a fucking unruly bipolar thing, aren't you? Just relax. What the fuck is your problem? God. I'm trying to slow the horse down. It says L down slows it. That was not a very responsive thing. Anyway. Okay, so who is the person? Who is Straya? Where did I find you? Out in the Faron grasslands, I found Straya. Where are you? Mounted Archery Camp is where you were. Where is the Mounted Archery Camp? I'm in the Taobab grasslands, so where's Faron grasslands? Hey, where are they? Over here. So we want to go to Mounted Archery Camp, which is over here. I'm going to set a waypoint. We've been over this before. I need pins, not stamps. Alright, off we go, giant horse. We've figured out where to go. Soothe the rather sensitive horse. Just shut the fuck up. You know, I have had a lot of things to say about Epona. A lot of choice words, a lot of unkind words. But she is a lot better than you are. Like, I don't like Epona. Every time she wants to throw a fucking tantrum because she has to lift her hoof higher than 30 centimeters. As frustrating as that was, God, at least she didn't throw a tantrum just by being ridden in a straight direction for longer than 5 seconds. It's unbelievable. I'm guessing that if it's going to be a dynamic horse training experience, you know, developing a relationship with your horse, it's not going to be like that the whole time. Is that a Lionel? It is. Okay, horse, you stay right where you are. I'm going to save, just in case you go somewhere. Because I don't want to lose you. You're important to my quest, and you may actually be my horse. I'm happy for you to be my horse. Because, like I said, you are a fitting steed for the hero of time, or the hero of whatever the fuck he's the hero of in Breath of the Wild. Hero of Zelda reboots. Hero of Nintendo's wallet. Anyway. Ugh. Come on. Yeah! I had a feeling that would hit me. Okay, I just have to do a little better than that. I definitely saw that coming. I have to try to improve myself. Oh dear. Okay. I'm glad the horse doesn't move when I recover my save. So the initial roar at the start of the confrontation is an opportunity in and of itself. And I'm currently failing to exploit it. God. Alright, so I want to take my shield out. Why does Doomlink keep loading his save? It's because he doesn't have many healing wares. Not only does he want to preserve what healing wares he currently is in possession of, he also doesn't want to accept taking stupid hits when he doesn't have many healing wares. Okay? You know, if it's a legitimate hit to take... Oh, you're speaking of illegitimate. Yeah, I don't actually have to worry about dying because I do get saved by something. I can't even remember what that is. I think it's one of the Divine Beast abilities. It's definitely overpowered. I mean, come on. Whose idea was that? I don't think that's a good idea at all. But I think it's the elephant, isn't it? Yeah, it's the elephant. Whatever is ×1. You are obviously resistant. Why did the range of that is unfair? Why am I doing this? It's because I value the materials of a Lionel. I find them to be useful for upgrading my stuff. Specifically, my armor. Okay, I should be doing it while he's roaring, silly me. What is my weapon? It must be the Master Sword. Let's change to something stronger. We'll get a... Let's get the Boulder Breaker. Let's not pull our punches. Please don't hit me. Okay. I shouldn't be using my duplex bow anyway, it's fucking weak. Stop it. Go away. Yeah, do that, I don't mind. Now this is going to be a little more effective. I'm going to heal up. Why not? We do have fairies, by the way. Yeah, okay. Spicy pepper steak. I don't care about the additional effect that it has, by the way. Cold resistance? No. Not interested. Oh, that might have been an opportunity to mount you. I don't know, but... Yeah, do your run. I don't mind your run. It's not enough to really cause issues for me. My Savage Lionel bow is badly damaged, which is unfortunate, but based on the amount of health that this one has, I am going to assume... Oh, that's right, you do have another one of those coming. Ugh. Wish I didn't have to waste that. But yeah, I don't think it's actually going to be a waste here, because, by the looks of it, this is a fairly strong Lionel. That means he's going to give me a good weapon when he dies, and he's also going to give me some good materials outside of that. In other words, actual Lionel materials. I'm sure there are rare Lionel materials, and then there are more common ones. Alright, stop. What are you doing? Don't throw your weapon, you absolute buffoon. Alright, bow. Savage Lionel bow. Get it out. Yeah. There we go. Oh, I can turn off the ghost powers, but you see, I want to keep them. Ugh, I shouldn't have done that. I can't outrun that giant halberd. I really can't. I can outrun him when he does that shit. So the thing is that if I turn off that power, in other words, the automatic healing when I die power, I'm going to forget to turn it on, and it's going to be very frustrating when I don't have that ability when I really, really want to have it. I think you can't really anticipate when you're going to die, and even if you can, you may not remember to turn it back on, or I may not remember to turn it back on. So I'd rather have it there and then just reload a save so as not to waste it, rather than to turn it off and then risk not having it when I really need it. So that's the way I look at it. So our Savage Lionel Spear is 30 damage, but because it's a spear, it's probably closer, it's probably in effect closer to 40 damage, just because of the speed at which you can attack. Oh yeah, I could probably turn off the Goron shield. That's a decent idea, actually. Although, at the moment, it's okay. I'm not too concerned about wasting it. Not at this point in the game. I think it's alright. Alright, let's continue on, shall we? Where do we need to go? We need to turn back this way. Off we go, horse. I should be saving. As my horse throws a tantrum. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. I'm soothing you, so be soothed at once. Be soothed. Thank you. Calm yourself. You must carry yourself with dignity. You have the hero of something on your back, riding you into, well, perhaps not battle in this case, but riding you wherever he may wish to go. It's a fucking privilege. It's not something that I should be having to constantly go, oh, there. No, 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 no. Oh, God, another one. Yes, be soothed, you cunt. Alright. I don't think I have enough fucking Lionel bows for this. Is this? Oh, this is a much stronger one. This is one of the... Based on the weapon that he has, again, that's this one here. That's 78 damage. Savage Lionel Crusher. I think there are different tiers of that weapon. I don't think all of them are necessarily 78 damage, which I think is one of the strongest weapons you can have in the game, 78 damage. But, you know, this is, I would assume, one of the stronger Lionels that you can fight. I don't know the color coding for them, but strangely, it does appear that this one's a little weaker, in the sense that he doesn't have as much health, I think. I'm comparing him to the last one that we were fighting. How come the last one wasn't doing this shit? Oh my god, these Lionel bows do not last very long. I think I did pick up another one though, so that's at least some small comfort. I feel like I'm wasting them a little bit, because they do break so quickly. My mighty Lionel shield is damaged, I regret to discover, but... Oh, there's a fucking follow-up. You know what, let's just take it. Let's take it. I mean, when else am I going to fucking use it? I don't think that's a waste. It sort of is. At this stage, I'm going to say that the convenience... Remember when I was talking about climbing things when you don't intend to climb them? I'm in battle, and Link is randomly climbing a thing that was off camera, okay? Need you a better example? Like, fuck off. As if I need that. As if I need to be climbing some random object while I'm in battle. Give it a rest. What a stupid game mechanic. It's just woeful. It's pathetic. I consider it to be amateurish on the part of Nintendo. I mean, what were they thinking? God knows. Oh, my shield is not doing well. Get out of the way of that. Don't really want to be involved with whatever's going on now. Auto climb. What an absurd mechanic. Do you run? I don't mind. I just want to be able to get you when you finish it. See, sometimes I can get you from the side, but it's hard. Okay, you're not doing a follow-up. I got you during the roar. This might kill him. Alright, I'd say the next successful arrow to the head. Arrows to the head in this case. That should be the moment of death. I'm continuing to run in case we get a follow-up. You never know. You never know. I'm almost out of arrows, unfortunately. And he's dead. Goodbye. Okay, what have we got? Lionel Guts. I think that's a good drop. Lionel Horn, shock arrows. They always give us shock arrows. It's because if you try to fight them from a distance, they will shock arrow the fuck out of you. That you will be utterly decimated by their insane shock arrows. So how are the bows going? We've stopped doing that. We've got, well, that's the one I just picked up. This is the one that's somewhat damaged, I think. Let's find out how strong this Savage Lionel Crusher is. Well, actually, maybe I won't throw that one. That's decent. What's a weapon that I really am not in need of? Like, one that's really not worth having. Okay. No, you know what? The double axe can go. Don't need the double axe. Link is very strong to be able to throw that far. Savage Lionel Crusher, 78. Maybe they are all created equal and they're all that fucking strong. That must mean that that was one of the stronger Lionels that you can fight, to be dropping a weapon like this. Well, I'm happy to see that I've got 2 of these. It just shows that what it essentially means is that if I fight something that's really quite strong, I have something likely equally as strong, if not stronger, to fall back on. And because I have 2 of them, I'm going to feel more inclined to use a weapon of this kind of strength. Because that's one of the things I hate about this game. I'm always second-guessing myself. Should I be using this thing? Because everything has finite durability, and I hate that. You know, it just doesn't last. I understand where they were going with it, but it was a misguided implementation, in my opinion. I don't think it was a good idea. Stop complaining, please. Quite rightly, I said that the length of time I would record would depend on how long it took for me to complete this quest, or it would also depend on how much fun I was having, or whatever. Oh god. You wonder why I don't use horses in this fucking game. Even a little decline like that is enough to have this horse fucking protest. I can't believe it. You are such an opponent. Can you handle a little bit of water? Yeah? A little bit of water? You're okay? You're not gonna throw a fucking tantrum? I'm pleased to see it. Alright. This guy's gonna... his eyeballs are gonna pop out of his skull when he sees this giant horse. Oh dear. Yeah, don't hurt the horse, okay? I have... this is practically a delivery. I'm happy to have this be my horse as well, but I do consider this to be very much a delivery of sorts. So, yeah. We're heading over this way. Miniature horses, be afraid. Get out of here. Yeah, this is the absolute pinnacle of your species right here. Yeah, I bet you just pinched out a tremendous loaf when you saw me. Alright. Oh, says Straya. Straya, I don't know. I'm just going to say Straya because it's funnier. Oh, now, okay. This is quite important. Stop, please. We all need to take a moment to just acknowledge this. So I'm on the horse, right? And I get an A prompt. Okay? An A prompt to talk. I press the A button and I start writing off while the A prompt to talk is on the screen. Now, some of you may say, Doomlink, you're actually not able to talk to people while on horseback. It's a fairly well-known thing among people who play Breath of the Wild. Just get off the horse and talk to the guy, it's fine. Okay, the first point is that I don't know that because I don't ride horses, but that's not a big deal. The second point is that good game design would dictate that you don't have a prompt on the screen unless you can actually press the button to interact with it. Now that's not an absolute rule, but it absolutely applies if that button will then instead cause you to do something totally different to what the prompt on screen is prompting you to do, okay? That is how game design works. You look at actual real-world scenarios where, oh, press A to talk. Oh, whoops. I can't talk in this mode. Instead, I'm riding off in the distance, which is a rather different thing to what I was intending on doing. Perhaps, if we take the prompt away, the person will, in fact, be therefore prompted to get off the horse to conduct conversation with the person that they have found. I mean, really, I'm not a fucking game designer, but apparently these people are not good at what they do in certain respects. How could you say, oh, it's ZL plus A? Sorry, you have to target. After all that. Okay, that's my fault for not reading the prompts. Someone's sitting there going, ha! Got you, Doomling. Got you. Shut your mouth. Well, look. It wasn't clear. I couldn't see the ZL. It was because I've got a dark horse, okay. But seriously, that I found to be unintuitive. But I guess it's not unintuitive to a Zelda player. It's just one of those rare instances where getting the L targeting, or the ZL targeting in this case, or the Z targeting, depending on what game you're talking about, that muscle memory can actually translate to Breath of the Wild. Hallelujah. That horse, it's huge. I've never seen one that big. That is definitely an endemic species. Sorry, but can I take a good look at that horse? Depends on how much of a good look you're going to have. If you do intend to look at way too much, I'm going to have to ask that you have the horse provide consent. Thanks, I'll be right back. This is impressive. Quite interesting. Wow, with this much info, I can feel my spirit for discovery murmuring in contentment. Yeah, you do sound pretty contented, my friend. It's definitely different seeing something with your own eyes rather than just reading about it. Thank you. Yeah. This is to thank you for keeping with our or rather helping with our investigation. I can't even read now after having my eyes sullied by your just flagrant indecency. To think that there is actually a horse this big out there. How surprising. Yes, well, I've completed the side quest. Hallelujah. Yeah. That's not much of a yeah. Or rather, the effects of the yeah are not very impressive. Alright, that's probably going to be it for this recording, actually. Because, to begin another side quest may very well get me doing another 30 minutes, and I'm not really in the mood for that. Bread Jesus has just come straight out and said, please refrain from groping my horse. By the looks of it, he just had a good look. I have no reason to believe that he touched my horse anywhere in particular, but he definitely raped my horse with his eyes. I do thank you all for watching. This is the second Breath of the Wild recording that I've done since returning, and I'd say I've more or less enjoyed myself. More or less. I've had a little bit of a rant, that's, I suppose, expected with a Doom Link recording, and I've gotten a few things done. Overall, it was entertaining. I did obviously intend to do Monster Hunter today, but it didn't happen. That's regrettable, but it is the way it is. I bid you all farewell for now. I'll see you next time I'm recording something that you would like to watch. And hopefully the next recording is Zelda before I lose my Zelda audience. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. Hopefully my next recording is going to be Monster Hunter before I lose my Monster Hunter audience. Bye-bye for now.